What's up, everybody? Welcome back to, you guessed it, Guiding Delight. Been doing well. It's been a while. I know 2 weeks in the grand scheme of things, there's a lot of time that passed, right? We had the lunar eclipse. Some good things have happened. Where are we at? Let's go. Boom! All right, a little driving time with D, shall we? It's been a minute, I know. And here we go. So we're taking our power back. What does that mean, right? So understanding our power, taking our power back. Here we go. The more we expand our consciousness, the more we have an effect on the surrounding energies around us, right? So the more influence we have to the energy based upon how far we've expanded and evolutionalized our consciousness, right? As always, the body has to connect to the energy's got to connect to the consciousness, right? But as we put these pieces together, we realize the greater influence our consciousness and our perception of life has on the environment around us, right? So we talk about having your own zones, right? Or having your own territory, if you will, right? So there could be other people within your territory that are beautiful light workers. People are beaming out a lot of light, a lot of frequency. And then there could be you're in a zone where you're really the only one, right? And for me, in my case, there's not too many people that are as high vibing as I am, right? So there becomes a difference, like an interlock of a lag. And I'm forced to deal with certain situations and certain frequencies that not everyone is aware of, right? Or understanding. So as I come into this, I understand that we got to look at, you can't have a bad day, right? What's up with that? This might be too blurry. I don't know. We're going to keep going. But yeah, so we got a higher frequency. Our thoughts start having an influence of the energy around us. So when we're having a bad day, you know, if we can't get off of it, right, and we allow the bad day to affect us, we're allowing that to affect multiple people within our zone, right? You know, I never could understand why when I was younger, my older brother, he could throw a tantrum, right? And you know, there would be issues and he could be upset, but we'd all go about our day, right? But if I was to have a bad day, everybody had a bad day, and nobody could stay positive around me. And I never understood that. Obviously, coming into the place I am now, I understood that I carried that higher frequency. So when I projected out that type of frequency and that energy, it amplified it within the atmosphere of the field. So centering back into that and realizing, okay, I need to control my emotions. I need to control my thoughts, right? So if I'm having a bad day or something happens that could potentially make my day bad, you know, I go through the thought construct. I re-humble myself. I use it as gratitude and appreciation, and I change the construct. And I smile and I breathe through it, right? And I move on. And what that does is allows it, I clear space for others who are unaware of the drainage of the atmospherical energies around them. I believe that's very important. Something we need to understand. You know, the influence we have on our cells of our body, right? Our bodies, I mean, it's truly an amazing thing what our bodies can do and how it reacts to certain situations, certain diseases, all these other things. The greater our consciousness is, the more reaction our body has to our thoughts and our emotions, right? The mental and the emotional is so connected to the physical body. We've talked about this before. So, as we understand that, as we come into that, okay, scientifically proven, if you get angry, your body releases a chemical and a pheromone, which makes you age faster. But if you can stay humble and gratitude and stay into that easement, if you will. The body also releases hormones and pheromones that help you not age, that strengthen the cells within the body. So if we understand that strengthening effect that we have in our bodies, right, as our consciousness grows, that connection becomes even more stronger. So essentially, if you want to look at it as a test, you know, I hate to consider it a hierarchy, but you gotta hear me out, okay? If you understand your thoughts and your emotions are affecting your body, right, and you take ownership of your thoughts and your emotions towards your body, well, your thoughts and your emotions can have greater influences on the energies around you, right? Why is that important? Well, you know, if you're feeling these blissful out moments and then a couple days later you're emotionally distraught and you're having a really hard time mentally compartmentalizing these things, the juice level or the power meter is going to be affected by it, right? Not to mention we have all these other X factors going around us, the quantum entanglement of it all, right? And I'm going to come back and do a video on it. You know, the power effect of the consciousness of the quantum and how these things intermingle. Definitely more to come on that, but when we understand our emotions, we understand our thoughts, we understand the power that we possess, how we use the power, right? Because some of us can be turned online and it's great, but then we have these influxes of energies and we kind of fold, we collapse, we give in, whatever you want to call it. And it's really detrimental to your path. You know, you might not see it, you might not understand, but spirit is going to prevent you from having a greater evolved connection because it doesn't want you to harm yourself, right? So as you're taking your power back, you got this, everything's great, and then boom, something comes up, this situation happens, you know, the repeat of the poop loop, right? It brings you back down, and they don't want that downward pull to pull you off your course. So there's certain levels of energy flow normalization through the body. I feel like I'm not making any sense. Hopefully this is helping somebody. Oh! We're taking our power back. We need to be strong. You know, we always want to go, well, if I do this one thing, then I'll get there. And then I get there and, well, I got to do this and I got to do that. It's like constantly, when are you going to come to the point of realization and understanding into ownership, right? You know, I played the whole teeter-totter game, and it was very interesting last week. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. The energy was very supportive, very blissful. You could feel that connection to the outside the veil, right? You could just, it was perfect. And then Friday hit, and it was like distortion, chaos. All of a sudden there's a new variant. Crash markets dropping. Right? What are they trying to do right now? They're trying to frustrate you, upset you, get you back into fear, right? What time of year is this? The magical time of Christmas, right? So all these distractions, let's call them X factors, are Xing you out of the magic of Christmas, right? And I think some of you are like, yeah, Christmas, I don't really like Christmas. Look, I've been there, done that. Fortunately, my kids have put me into a more playful energy when it comes to Christmas, and I really get attuned into it because some of these Christmas songs and some of these different things, they have a high frequency of energy within them. And it's very powerful, right? But if we're worried about the stock market and the crypto and the variant and everything that's going around in our lives that we can't control, well, those thoughts and those patterns are preventing us from getting into that magic of Christmas. Jolly old Saint Nick, right? Santa is real. You know, I remember being crushed when people tried to tell me it wasn't, but the energy of Santa, the energy and the magic of Christmas, the birth of Jesus, all of that is right there. ready to be harnessed. But there's so many of these X factors that we can't see past all the X's, right? We need to get the positivity of the Christmas magic, pull that into the state of being, and just feel the magic within the air, right? These Christmas songs are coming on. You know, maybe you're not into the Christmas thing. We'll try to get into it, or at least intuitively fill into what some of these songs are coming in, right? And feel the message and the energy behind the songs. It's very supported by spirit. I think it's very crucial that we all come into the magic of this Christmas. You know, we have to take responsibility because we are here. We are the ones that are going to save us, right? We're it. So when we understand that, we start applying that, okay, this is going on at this time. I'm going to look past it. I'm going to go on the magic of Christmas. I'm going to bring joy to everyone who comes around me, right? When I walk into a room, my joy factor is going to be so high that people who are talking about X factors will become wiped, and then they'll just start talking about Christmas, right? So these different parallels of parables is something we need to understand and fully dive into right now. You know, another thing I was getting onto that is we always want to have a task. We're linear too much. So we had to do one thing to get to one place, and then once we're at that place, we got to come up with another task to get further down the path. Right? It's all there right now. It's an acceptance thing, right? Because if you go from the mindset of I don't have to do anything but just be because I am all that I am, well, now we've created a whole different magical field around us saying I am all that is. I'm ready to let the magic flow through me, right? Versus I gotta do A, B, and C before I can let the magic flow through me, right? Starts off small, guys. Little bit of vibration through the body. You know, as you do your diligence, as you work on these things, you know, your body's got to evolve. Your DNA's got to recodex itself. You got to purify the system. It's not. I mean, it took a couple years for me to finally get to the point where I didn't have to keep seeking. I could just be the version I was meant to be. You know, and even then, I still have these issues where I get upset or I pout a little bit, right? I'm unhappy with the way things are going at times. But what's crucial is not to stay there, right? And not to let that drive results into my outcome, right? I can acknowledge it. I can have the emotions and the mental behind it, but then I move on, right? I'm not going to spend time thinking about that too much, right? I'm going to focus on what I can control. Right now, what I can control is that elf on the shelf. Little bastard. I don't know if you guys got any elves on the shelf, but mine's pretty naughty. I can't wait till he goes back to St. Nick, because he's tearing my house up. Toothpaste everywhere. He hasn't TP'd house yet, but I know it's coming. So, what can we control? Maybe we are trying to control too much, right? We really don't have to control anything. You know, but if we put something out there, put a little bit of effort into it, get out of our own way and don't try to super control it, we progress faster, right? Because now we're coming from a point where I am purified with spirit. Spirit is me. Now I'm going to let spirit live through me. I think that's an important realization. That's what I really wanted to get to. Now's a time for celebration, a time for magic, a time for harnessness, right? Now's not a time to be doing shadow work. That was a couple months ago, right? Are we glad we're past that? Yes. Are we still trying to hold on to that? Why? It'll be back next year. You know, you got to go with the flow of the seasons, right? So we got to get in the flow. We got to understand the magic of Christmas that's happening, right? We got to attack the things, headhunt the things we don't want to see, and our realities, help X-nay them out, come back into the path of realization that you are the one who creates your reality. You are the one you are the only one that can control you. You don't understand what other thought patterns are going around with people. You don't understand what everybody else is going through. You know what you're doing, right? And if you can get into this joy, if you can get into this excitement, this magic, right? It's really going to transform you, bring you where you want to be. But if you're trying to do all this crazy stuff and you're putting roadblocks and hurdles in front of yourself, it's time just to run straight back to the magic. Now's the time to be the magic. Now's the time to feel the magic run through you. Now's the time to be the conduit so that the Christmas energy can magnify itself and make everybody happy and joyful. So keep that in mind, guys. I love you. Hope you guys are all doing well. As always, if you need help, reach out for a session. You guys stay awesome. Be you. Stay true. Till next time. Peace.